In this video, I'll discuss my roadmap for growing my stock portfolio over 2025, as I look to push towards the magical 100k figure. I'll walk you through my strategy, break down my forecast, and most importantly, explain the steps for exactly how I intend to achieve this goal. I've previously talked about why hitting 100k is such a significant milestone for investors. It's a goal that I'm still currently working towards myself, with 82k invested so far. But I believe that my approach will guarantee that I hit that 100k target by the end of 2025. Before I do dive into how I plan to reach my goal, let's first of all take a step back and talk about my overall investing strategy. I'm a dividend investor and focused on investing in income-generating assets for a few key reasons. I don't have to ever sell any of the principal. When I receive a cash dividend, I've instantly realised a gain. I don't have to worry about timing when to buy or sell. And tracking the yearly increases in income is really motivating for me. I have a very simple approach and just concentrate on three things: consistently contribute towards dividend-paying stocks and ETFs, reinvest all dividends, and have a long-term focus. It literally is as straightforward as that. For me, it's all about focusing on things that I can control. That way, I can hold myself completely accountable. My long-term goal for this portfolio is that one day it can contribute towards my monthly living expenses, and either allow me to retire or just scale back and work part-time. So the first part of my plan focuses on the amount that I can invest each month. And like most people, my main source of income is my work salary. I make a point of prioritising increasing your income in a lot of my videos. While I think that it's good practice to try and reduce your expenses, at some point you will hit a floor, where you just can't go any lower, whereas your earning potential is unlimited. I have a few videos on my channel where I discuss a few ways that I've increased my income and reduced my expenditure if you're interested. Following my own advice, my average monthly contributions over 2024 have shot up to £1,667 a month, which means that I'll be maxing out my 20k per year ISA allowance. And looking ahead to 2025, my goal is to maintain that level of investment throughout the year and beyond. And I hold all of my shares with Trading 212 in a stocks and shares ISA. This is a game changer for UK investors, as all capital gains and dividends are tax-free. And if you'd like to start investing with them, I do have a link in the description where you can use my code, and we'll both get a free fractional share worth up to £100 or €100. And if you wanted to, you can just sell that share straight away and pocket the cash. The second part of my plan will be to reinvest any dividends that I receive to fuel the compounding effect. What I mean by this is that when a dividend is received, I'll reinvest it back into the portfolio by buying more dividend stocks that will then pay more dividends. It's like earning interest on interest on interest. This type of growth is often referred to as the snowball effect. As we can see from this example compound interest chart, the effects of compounding mean that a small amount can become much larger over time. Notice how the arc of the curve is quite flat at first, where progress is slow. Then it ramps up and gets steeper and steeper towards the end. These latter years are where the magic happens. In my case, I'm very much still in the early stages, but my yearly dividend amounts have been growing year on year, and I received £2,475.44 last year in 2024. As these dividends are generated within my ISA, they don't count towards the 20k per year ISA allowance. And I want to reiterate that any dividends generated inside of my ISA don't count towards the 20k allowance. Let's assume that I managed to add the full 20k over 2025, and I received the exact same amount of dividends again this year. I'll have actually contributed £22,475.44 into my ISA, i.e. more than the 20k external allowance. I see these reinvested dividends as the extra rocket fuel to drive my portfolio size forwards. Let's look at a theoretical example to illustrate this. Imagine that we start at zero and invest 20k every year into an ISA that pays a consistent 4% dividend at the end of each year, which is then reinvested back into the portfolio. After 25 years, this is what we'd get. Look at the dividends that we'd receive inside of the ISA. These amounts would be used to buy more shares that paid more dividends. We'd be consistently exceeding the 20k ISA limit by reinvesting these dividends. As I mentioned before, note the latter years. We actually hit a point where the dividend contributions generated exceed the 20k limit from our own personal contributions. And this graph visualizes that perfectly. The purple bars represent our own contribution, and the orange bars represent the contributions from the dividends generated. The purple bars will always stay the same, as we can't exceed the 20k per year ISA allowance. But look at the way those orange bars grow and grow as new money is invested and dividends are reinvested. This is what I'm looking to achieve in reality with my own portfolio. Now that we've talked about the contributions and the reinvested dividends, let's now have a look at my investing plan for 2025 in more detail. For me, the best plans have the following elements. They have clear objectives, with goals that are clearly defined and measurable. They have actionable steps, where tasks are broken down into manageable actions. They're achievable, where the goal is realistic and attainable. And they have a timeline, with deadlines and milestones to track progress. My plan takes the form of a forecast. So, looking back at the 4 elements I just mentioned, it has clear objectives. The goal is clearly defined and measurable, i.e. to hit 100k by the end of the year. It has actionable steps. If I add £1,667 each month and reinvest all dividends, I will hit my goal. It's achievable. I've been able to contribute 20k over 2024, so I've proven that I can do this before. It has a timeline, with deadlines and milestones to track progress. I know what I have to do each month. And I've split the monthly dividend amounts out based on the 2024 annual dividends multiplied by the number of shares that I currently hold, weighted the same way as they were paid in 2024. Obviously, this won't take into account any dividend cuts, raises, or changes in payment dates, as that's not in my control, but I am okay with that. It also won't take into account any new shares that I purchase over the year, but again, that would be difficult to forecast, so I'm okay with that as well. It's a very rudimentary forecast, and a bit of a worst case scenario, but I do find it really encouraging to look at what my portfolio could evolve into if I keep doing what I'm doing. And this is how my 2025 predicted dividends compare to my 2024 actual dividends. My largest months, March, June, September and December, do look particularly juicy next year, and I'm already looking forward to that June total. So that's my plan for 2025, and to simplify it right down, all I have to do is invest 20k a year, reinvest all dividends, and I will hit my yearly goal. And let's now have a look at what might happen beyond 2025. We can see that after 5 years, I could have a portfolio worth around 209k that's generating around £626 a month in dividends. And after 10 years, I could have a portfolio worth around 365k, paying around £1,141 a month in dividends. And looking ahead even further, after 15 years, my portfolio could be worth 555k, earning £1,772 a month. And in 20 years, I could be earning £2,544 a month from a portfolio worth 789k. These sorts of numbers do seem a bit crazy, but the maths behind the numbers show that it's 100% achievable if I just stick to my plan and make it a priority to invest each month. Luckily for me, this is something that I'm in control of. I do document my investing journey on this channel, where I provide monthly updates of my passive income from dividends, real estate, premium bonds and cash interest. So if you're interested in following along, please subscribe to the channel to make sure that you don't miss any future updates. And if you have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, as it does help the channel out a lot and encourages me to keep making more of these videos. So you've just heard my investment plans for 2025, but what are your plans for the year? What are you looking to buy and how much are you looking to contribute? Let me know in the comments section below. I'll be reading and responding to every message that I can. Thanks again for watching, Happy New Year, and I'll see you in the next video.